So just to start off with, kind of going in detail about traffic safety when it comes to the school district here. I know there's a lot of differences when it comes to, high schools, elementary
Sure.
schools, middle schools, but just kind of going over why these traffic reminders need to be implemented and told to people every single year when the school year comes around.
Well, I think over the summertime, people are not accustomed to having the volume of traffic that'll be surrounding our schools when school starts. And so we want to encourage, one, parents to leave earlier than they normally would expect to because there will be more cars. And so to look out for all the littles, when you see our school buses, please don't pass them. Don't get frustrated with them as they stop and pick up students. Also, don't expect our students to necessarily cross in a straight line across the street, especially if they're little, right? We're still teaching them how to be good pedestrians. So we encourage people as they approach schools, give enough time, watch out for little people, don't be frustrated with other motorists and other cars. I think it's being a good citizen also comes into play with our traffic safety. And we're very grateful to Eugene Police and their increased traffic efforts around our schools to make sure that our kids are safe. Really, it's about safe riding, safe walking, and safe rolling.
Absolutely. And how long has this kind of, again, these traffic enforcements from Eugene Police been for with 4J? How many years?
I don't know exactly how many years, but I was with Eugene PD for many years, and we did it then, and we're still doing it now. We have to do it every single year just to remind people about the safety, especially as cars, the faster a car goes, the more damage it could do to a little person. So we want people to be safe and be mindful.
What would you say are some I mean, obviously it's, bus routes, those bus stops, school zones, but what specifically has 4J seen as like an issue of people speeding through the speed zones, people completely blowing past buses when they're coming through? What are the specific issues that you guys have seen in particular?
I think there's three issues that I want to address. One is speeding in a school zone. There's a reason why we post those speed limits, and there's some roads that are definitely going to be more dangerous and more risky than others, right? People will go as fast as the road allows them. When it's time for school to start, please don't do so. The second thing is to look out for our students on crosswalks, crossing driveways and whatnot, and making sure that as you turn right or left, you know you've got a clear path to do so. The last thing I'll bring is that when you see that red blinky light on a school bus, do not pass by it. Stop. That means students are exiting the bus or maybe loading the bus. It's a very dangerous time, especially for students who have to cross in front of the bus to go the other way.
Absolutely. And what, certain measures or what has 4J been doing to kind of ramp up again for back to school and that safety around their schools in general? Like, is there anything new you guys are implementing, anything you guys are, continuing on that you guys have done to, especially when it comes to, drop-offs and things like that, and trying to make it as easy as possible for kids to get to and from school, and then obviously their parents as well, dropping off their students?
Well, this, of course, is one of the big ones, is talking to the public and getting the message out about being mindful when you're in the school zone. We continue our efforts with our Safe Routes to School program, so encouraging our students to either take the public buses if they can, to take the school bus if they can, if they're that age, also to walk or to ride their bikes or scooters as they're coming to school. New this year, of course, we're seeing older students on the motorized bikes and scooters, and just want to remind people that you have to be 16 years or older to be on a motorized scooter or motorized bicycle. And so that's one of the education points.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people don't really, think nowadays that those are transportations for people to get to school. What have you guys had to implement in particular when it comes to kids coming to school on those types of scooters or vehicles?
We're starting education programs. That's really where we are, is starting with our parents and with the kiddos, and how do we message out about, being a good rider.
What would you say, big difference between obviously high schoolers and elementary schoolers? Elementary schoolers are getting dropped off by their parents riding the bus, where high schoolers are coming in on their own cars, What is your advice to those students that are coming in that also, while being students themselves, have to obey these traffic laws?
To our high school drivers, my main message would be don't speed. Speeding is one of the most dangerous things you can do. Don't do it. And hopefully Eugene Police will warn you and educate you either with a ticket or a warning.
And can you talk a little bit just of how certain drop-off procedures are when it comes to the differences between elementary school to middle school to high school? Because I know that they can be different. They were different in my own school district. They're way more strict for elementary school versus high school. It was kind of like fend for yourself and go all at it and see if you can get into a spot in
Right.
time. Just can you explain how those vary and are different and what parents could see coming into this school year?
So for this, I would encourage every parent to really pay attention to the newsletters that are coming out. Every single one of our brick and mortar schools is going to have different ways they want you to drop your kids off and pick them up. Some schools, it varies by grade. You pick, one age group in the front of the school, another age group in the back of the school. So I would encourage parents to be aware of that and to give the faculty and the staff that are out there directing traffic some grace as we relearn how to do it at the beginning of the school year.
You talked a little bit about how, it's just getting this back into your brain because we've been in summer for so long that, what would you say is the main target specifically for parents, for, students themselves, like elementary school students? No, don't run into the road, and go crazy. Like you
Right.
gotta, where do you guys see yourself and how do you guys separate, you have to do this in this group and you have to do this in this group? How do you guys try to manage all that? Because that's so many schools and so many people.
It's a great question. Basically, we try to educate the parents to help and educate their kids about how to safely walk to school. Safe Routes to School is a great program. I encourage parents to go and make sure their children can attend those Learn How to Ride, those Ride and Walk programs that we have, and that stuff will be rolling out here as school starts again.
Well, I think that's all the questions that I had for this specific topic. If there's anything you wanted to add on it at all, specifically when it
No.
comes to traffic safety.
I think I've talked a lot.
Yeah, I understand. And then we'll, again, just a short question about when it comes to lockdown procedures. Yes, regarding with what happened today, but in particular, any lockdown procedure in general, just what 4J has in those steps so that parents know what's going on in those different levels when they hear that word.
Okay, so Eugene School District, we use what's called standard response protocols through a group called the I Love You Guys Foundation. So I encourage parents to go and look at the I Love You Guys. It'll explain in detail our procedures for lockdowns, for holds, for secures, for evacuations, and for shelter in place. The main thing that I would say is that during a lockdown, we are going to lock down the school. We do not want parents responding to a school when there is a lockdown in progress. The reason why it's locked down is there's a threat outside the school. I want all of our teachers and staff focused on the inside. Number two is don't call your student inside the classroom or text them. Again, we want our students paying attention to the teachers and the staff inside the school and not having to worry about their, mom or dad texting them, right? Also, social media, please watch it. We can't be faster than social media, and social media is often inaccurate or only partial accuracy. So during a lockdown, please wait for messaging from the school. We'll try to get those messages out to parents through Parent Square as quickly as possible. But again, don't respond to the school for your kiddo. I know that's the temptation.
Absolutely. And can you describe specifically those steps that you have just to, again, give that layout if that a parent hears this is specifically is what's happening and stuff like that so they know?
Right, so with a lockdown, it's lights, locks, and out of sight. So we lock all the doors, exterior doors, we lock all the interior doors. We have lights turned off and we have people sort of hunker down, and that's because there's an immediate threat. When we have a shelter, when we have a hold, that means we're holding students inside a classroom for some reason. Usually the reason is that we have a child in the hallway who may be disruptive, or we've had a biohazard spill of some sort and we don't want kids tramping through it, right? And then when we have a secure, that means that students are going to be secured inside the school. They'll be able to use the restrooms, walk around, but there's a threat outside. The most recent secures we've had, frankly, have been because of bears in the South Hills. And we've had to secure a school because there was a bear sighting nearby. You can't have kids playing on a playground when you got a mama bear and some cubs. So those are the messages we give. After we do a secure or a lockdown, we will message to parents that we have done so. Usually, before the end of the day, or end of day, like 5 p.m., end of business day. With holds, we do it so frequently because there's spills and accidents that we don't often message that.